Let's keep talking about the 4 agreements. Today we're going to talk about the first agreement, which is be impeccable with your word. Okay, but what does that really mean? Being impeccable. So there's a couple of things I want you to keep in mind as you're asking yourself, am I being impeccable with my word? Are you using your words in a way where you're building people up, your partner, other people in your life, yourself? Are you using those words in a direction of truth, love, light, and positivity? Now, I want to be clear. If you are having a negative day, a negative thought, feeling negative, I'm not asking you to gloss over that and act like that doesn't matter. What I am asking you to do is sort of ask yourself, how do I want to use my words in this situation? Do I want to sort of focus on the negativity and give myself sort of that real negative mindset where then all of the words that I'm saying outwardly and inwardly are actually like devolving things and making me feel more negative? Or is there a way for me to process what I'm feeling, but then also choose to use my words in that direction of truth, love, light, and positivity? So it's about learning how to catch yourself and say, okay, what words am I about to use? And do those move in the direction that I want me to go, that I want my relationship to go, that I want my life to go? Those are the types of questions that you want to ask yourself. Now, from a relationship perspective, it is so easy sometimes to get emotionally reactive where you may find yourself just saying the first thing that comes to mind, not giving yourself a chance to really think through whether or not the thoughts that you're having need to actually be said. I love to focus on my 3-part relationship communication checklist that you can ask yourself anytime you're about to engage in communication. Now, I give this to you as something that you can use in your romantic relationship, but honestly, it works in all relationships and really just works in life in general. Even people you may not be in a relationship with, but you find yourself wanting to say something to. Okay, so here it goes. Does it need to be said? Does it need to be said now? Does it need to be said by me? Those 3 questions can really help you like sort of anchor this concept of being impeccable with your words. You're basically saying, okay, does the thought that I'm having even need to be said? Okay, yes or no? Does that thought that I'm having need to be said by me? Like, am I the delivery service for this message, or is someone else a better delivery service for that same message? And then does it need to be said right now? Is saying whatever this thought is going to be something that if I don't say it right now, the moment passes and I'm never able to say it again? Is it something where I really need to stand up for something that I believe in and say, no, I really need to say this thing right now? Or can it wait till later? Can you schedule some time to set up a courageous conversation and maybe come back to it with a clearer mind? The idea of the 4 agreements is to give you a framework that you can use to live your best life, as well as to build the relationship that meets your needs and gives you that feeling of fulfillment. Adding the 4 agreements along with this relationship checklist becomes kind of a no-brainer of like, yes, this is what I need to do in order to build this relationship that I want. And making sure that I'm using those words in a direction that's moving me forward. As a relationship therapist, as a couples therapist, as an individual therapist, as a sex therapist, I can tell you that communication is at the core of everything that goes on in these whole like situations that we're talking about. So that's why it's so important to start with this first agreement that says, be impeccable with your words. Make sure that you're saying what you mean, that you're meaning what you say, and that you're not letting your words be used to tear someone down, specifically to tear down the people that you love and care about the most. No matter how you may be feeling, it is always possible to pause, reset, and then allow yourself to say, how do I actually want to respond versus just reacting emotionally? I know that the 4 agreements are like easier said than done. That's why I love this work so much, because it's a constant process throughout life of perfecting it. And I'm not even sure if perfection is the goal, but I do encourage you to start asking yourself, am I using my words in an impeccable way? And can I apply that checklist of does it need to be said? Does it need to be said now? Does it need to be said by me as a way to start getting my words and my communication back on track so that I can inject myself in the relationship in the best possible way that I know how? I will be back next week with the second agreement. In the meantime, I have linked for you information about the 4 agreements as well as how you can download my relationship communication guide that expands on that 3-part checklist that I just talked about. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Keep building that relationship of your dreams, and I will be back next week with more.